कथा सुंदर करतारी.
For an average Indian, this is probably the biggest story that has ever happened in our life.
The Ramayana is one of the great ancient epics of world literature and culture.
It's a story of good over evil. It's also a story of love.
I just think it's one of the best stories that's ever been written.
Sees a stalker and kicks it in the ribs.
One moment it's an action adventure, the next moment it's this very philosophical teaching.
It's a story about morality and love and duty.
It is really, to me, a page-turner.
To me, Ramayana has always been the history of Indian people with a very strong moral and an ethical backbone.
What I discovered is that the moral teachings that they have in the Ramayana are not dissimilar from what we have here in the US.
How to lead your life of good deeds.
Love, wisdom, courage.
Why we live, who we are, where we came from.
What does it mean to an Indian? What's the truth of Dharma? What's the truth of morality in a love story?
You are free now. Everything is supposed to be okay now, but you've changed. You should not be disappointed. I have done my duty.
I don't care about duty, I care about love.
It starts with Shuddha Brahma Paratpara Ram, Paratmaka Parameshwara Ram, meaning that how Rama came into being from the heavens, coming down to earth as an avatar, and then lives amongst men.
What happens is that Ravana falls in love with Sita, and so he convinces his uncle, Maricha, to turn into a golden deer. Maricha can transform to entice Sita.
It becomes Ram's job to rescue her.
Ram loves Sita, Sita loves Ram, and yet Ram is a king. He has to be a king. He has to reject her later.
I am unstained, please look at me!
Even the suspicion of impurity can serve as a stain. Can't you see? I am tormented by these two terrible choices. It's the happiness of my people or my own personal happiness.
The other thing about this story is that in India in particular, it's a connective tissue socially.
It instantly draws me back to my childhood.
Because when I was a kid, so my parents always brought me to the performance in Indonesia.
I grew up with, my mother and my grandparents telling me stories from the Ramayana.
My mom used to do worship every day, and she'll recite Ramayana half an hour to an hour.
And I would sit on my father's lap as he was doing his, prayers in the morning.
My children look forward to it. They were both born here. They look forward to Diwali.
Diwali is one of my favorite festivals. How some children look forward to Christmas, it's the same thing, but I look forward to Diwali.
My father will still claim that by the age of 3, I had that entire prayer by heart.
When I do this, I feel kind of proud of myself that I'm of my culture and how I was brought up and how my family is unique.
I literally lived, almost you could call vicariously, through the various tales of Ramayana.
We've had some great workshops, and they have embraced all kinds of theater. Puppetry, storytelling techniques, dance.
And, Kurt has given me the freedom to solve a problem how I want to solve it, which is my form of dance,
And I think it's just created a sense where we've found some really great unexpected things because it has not as of yet been about product. It's really been about what are the different ways we can tell the different parts of the story.
Wait, this isn't you at all!
It's hard to get across the energy and power of India. So it feels like a very important work and a very important journey.
And so it was really rewarding to be able to have that time and work off of each other and, have moments where Kurt would work on with one actor, I'd work on another, Maureen would be doing a dance. It just felt like there was just this life to the creation process.
of the remarkable thing about this story is that it is significant and well known in cultures that have very great religious differences.
In Indonesia, they say that Islam is our religion, but the Ramayana is our culture. And so how interesting is that?
It doesn't only represent Hinduism, but it teaches us to be a decent human being.
For me, it was sort of another reminder, you know, in theater you're telling stories of like there is only the one story.
My interest in being ambassador is part of me. I feel really it's a matter of pride, it's a matter of great pleasure.
And so I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm just dying to see how ACT is going to put this on stage.
Well, the ACT theatre is hands down my most favorite theatre, and Ramayana, as I said, is really a nice story.
So it's great fun, and I'm excited about this.
I think it's a great way for people to come and get involved.
And I thought it was a great way to teach people in America that people halfway around the world are not dissimilar from what we are here.
My feeling is that this is so important. We need to make it successful. We need to make it correct. We need to make it popular. And we need to make it in such a way that everybody wants to come to see
Ram,
it.
Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. You like this? Thank you.
So how do you pronounce Ramayana?
So Ramayana literally is the story of Rama. So Ramayana.
So it says Ramayana in South. In North India, we call it Ramayana. There's not A at the end.
So it's Ramayan.
Ramayana.
I say Ramayan.
Ramayana.
Well, I have always said Ramayana, and it's hard to change.
So it's nothing about being right or wrong here. It's just different pronunciations and how we are all brought up.
Great, yeah, and it's all about the same story.
It's all about the same story.